There's like that meme where it's like equality, and then it's like it's like a baseball fence.
Yeah,
like the kid is just staring at the fence. It is equal. The kid staring at the fence, and then equity. The kid's like on a crate, and then he's looking over, and the dad can still see over.
Socialism was when you put kids on crates.
Yeah, and then equity. The dad was shot in the head because he could see too much.
You're lucky you're just staring at the fence, brother. Ignorance is bliss.
We're like, what's all equal is when you can all see over the fence and you see over the fence and you're like, that's war crimes.
Yeah. And then you look over the fence and you go, oh, no, that's not equal. Yeah. Everything over the fence is not equal at all.
It's all looking over the fence at a country where you're like, oh, that's really sad.
Yeah. And you're like, all right, let's just go back to sheep. Sheep.
Let's go back down.
Yeah. So, just a little lesson, I guess.
Yeah.
Just so you know.
Just so you know that meme from Facebook from 10 years ago.
But yeah. How are you guys doing?
Wait,
did we start?
Oh, yeah, I guess we did
that
technically
was
start.
I mean, anytime we start with a hot riff about socialism, the podcast has started.
The podcast has begun.
Yeah.
I don't care if there's no microphones around. The podcast has begun.
It's right now.
Start recording.
Yeah.
Just a guy on his phone.
Jump it right in.
Just anyone.
People fighting on the street, pulling out voice mode. Can this be my podcast?
Yeah. Wait. All right. Continue.
You can go.
Yeah.
The worst day of
Just say
someone's life.
things.
You
Yeah.
can go.
Talk about socialism.
Well, welcome back to Phone is in the Bag. We have John Kennedy here today.
Answering some hot seat questions about the Cuban Missile Crisis.
Yeah, that's
just got done listening to a fucking podcast about you people, buddy, and I'm not.
What was the Cuban Missile Crisis? They like had him.
Oh, you mean the Kennedys?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
We should clarify. No relation.
No, well, we looked it up. I think I'm like back on Jackie's side during like Native American times, whatever that means. So relation.
But is that just But that's the name carried on.
No.
No,
not
because if
at
it's
all.
Jackie's side, that's just a coincidence.
Any relation that you would consider a relation, I'm not related. But any relation where it's like, oh, I'm 2% Chilean, that kind of relation.
So not at all.
I think it's important to carry on traditions, even if they were bad, just because traditions need to be kept. Every tradition. I don't care if they started a few days ago. They need to be kept because the history matters of everything.
My grandpa fell off a cliff, and now I have to kill myself.
Yeah.
No, I didn't mean to put you on the spot, but I was like, it's just interesting to be like, what links does your family have to, like, my family going way, way, way back, there's some link to, like, a Scottish castle, but not in a way of like, oh, my family's blah, blah, blah. In the way of like, yeah, 5,000 people are descended from this guy. Like, it's not special, but it is kind of cool to be like, oh, where does it link up to something? Because my dad kept this really long family history that he did like by hand in this big book when he was in high school, and then now that we have the internet, I picked it up for a school project and was able to link it back to like someone who had a Wikipedia page, and then once you're on that, like biblical times, it's like you can just fucking keep going.
And to think it was all leading up to someone having a podcast. All their hard work for nothing.
King
it is
David,
just
1,000 dominoes, me having a podcast.
It is like throwing a toaster in the gene pool, buddy. It is just absolutely over. Starting. My great grandfather fled the Holocaust for me to just throw it all away. Dye my hair pink and pretend to be a Preston in Brooklyn.
That's what he would have wanted, though. That's what I mean. If you escape the Holocaust, wouldn't you be like, I just want my kids to be able to do whatever they want?
That's true.
Yeah.
And then he.
And you go to an improv class and you're like, maybe not everything.
Yeah. And then he looks at what we're doing.
There should be a few fascism towards whatever that is.
And then he looks at us and he's like, well, you got to be like a guy or a girl.
What the fuck does anything even mean?
You could do anything as a guy or a girl.
They're dividing us into lines in the camps, and I'm like, I don't really fit either side.
Everyone's like, oh.
And they're like, all right.
You go first.
Yeah. Earned an express pass. So just the Disney, like, no line waiting.
Nazis that are like.
That's actually how Walt Disney came up with that whole concept. Was researching the Holocaust.
Nazis are like, well, then you can have that line, I guess. Well, and then people move over. Okay, well, we got to figure this out. All right, stop the operation. We got to figure out who's
the
what.
operation.
Yeah. If we're going to kill them, what order do we do it in?
That's true. The Germans are so anal that probably did come up at one point.
No, it
didn't. Fucking around. I mean, of course it didn't actually happen.
The riff ends. Why are you saying that?
Yeah. You're stupid. It's really
They're
aggressive.
literally Nazis.
Yeah.
How are you guys doing?
Yeah, it's a quick bit. What if we just start talking about the weather after that? Well,
Dude, I watched.
out there.
I got to sleep really late today. I woke up at like 3 because we watched Parasite last night. I made my girlfriend.
Great movie.
Had you seen it before?
I'd seen it. I wanted my girlfriend to watch it.
Absolutely.
And
great
she kept like going to the kitchen, and I would pause it, and she was like, "I can still hear it." And I was like,
I'm like,
"It's
that's
in
not
Korean."
That's not how movies. That's so funny.
I'm listening.
Yeah, I'm like, you can't understand what they're saying. And she's like, "But I get a vibe."
I almost got caught in that lie one time. Like my boyfriend was showing me a movie, and I was like, kind of like, yeah. And I almost was like, oh, I'm listening, and I was like, it has English subtitles. It was like an anime or something. Yeah, that's a tough one.
Yeah, because even she was like getting pretzels and like, all right, then I'll look, and I'm like, it doesn't. I just want you to watch it. All right, can you just not be hungry for 2 hours?
Me, and I feel like when you're not watching the movie, you're not watching me.
Yeah,
I care about.
You don't care about me.
You're clicking pause in this relationship.
Yeah,
That's what you're doing.
yeah, and that's not okay.
No.
You can't click pause in a relationship.
No.
It's always on play mode.
It's absolutely going. Sometimes it fast forwards to the end, but
Yeah.
it's always running.
And that's when you do drugs together.
A little bit. Or, yeah, fast forwards to something, for sure.
Do you ever watch, do you guys ever, like, in college, would you ever, like, watch, like, YouTube lectures, or in high school or anything, like, watch, like, YouTube lectures on, like, 3 times speed and just try to, like, download the information?
I need to know it by tomorrow. yeah, of course.
Can you do that?
What, can I download information into my brain? Also, why did you look at me like I was a cyborg? Like I have that ability now.
No, because some people are like, some people are like, this
is
sounds
there
like
a receptor in your earring that allows you to just download a
I can
VPN
do
of knowledge?
I can
No,
do
you
it.
can't.
I can watch a YouTube video on 3 times speed and
You
get the
can't
gist
even
of it.
remember something I told you to do 4 hours ago.
Told me to do from
Asked
the
you a favor.
Well, you can like watch or like listen to it, but like I had to read like Life of Pi like 2 days before it was due.
Mm-hmm.
So I like just listened. I was like timing it out. All right, if I listen on like times 4 or whatever.
Yeah.
I didn't know what they were saying, but I was like, well, at least I did it.
So nothing happened.
And they were like, I was like, yeah, it sucks with the tiger.
No, you can get into a mode where you like hear it and then you like can absorb it. Hold up. I'm going to pull something up. I swear to God, you can do this.
No, I know you can like study really hard.
Well, there's like
and
meditation
cram
where you can
some
fall
information.
asleep, and then the meditation is like, you'll be good tomorrow, and then you'll wake up and be like, why do I feel good today? But I don't think you...
I feel like that's like almost not necessarily placebo, but like I feel like if you put that intention in your mind, you just feel better.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it kind of is placebo.
The intention
Fucking
is...
honest.
Yeah.
What are you looking up here?
This is on 2 times playback speed.
Yeah, I couldn't understand.
Okay, actually, this is hard because he's using on technical. Okay, what about this? You could hear that. Wait.
Glucose in the bloodstream, having an ideal everything being in homeostatic balance.
That sounds like absolute gibberish.
Okay.
That sounds like what would I would hear in my ears as I'm having a fucking heart attack. You're saying I'm going to pick up any knowledge from that?
That sounds like a guy talking to a wall in an insane asylum.
Yeah.
Okay, you know what?
If you think that you
I might
can
have
get
been
smart
wrong.
that way, the only thing you've learned is you need more medication.
Well, when
That is absolutely insane.
When I edit the pod, I listen to the full thing on ×2 speed, and I don't like really. I miss some stuff, but what I don't miss is when someone pauses and then like very fast is like, all right, we'll cut that out. That's the only thing I can hear on ×2 speed.
I have done that for our podcast too, like going through to like find a clip and listen on 2 times speed. You can at least 1.5. You can listen. I definitely did do that in college. Oh, shit. Sorry.
I thought the rabbit pulled it.
Oh no, it's just it's just
The rabbit's pulling out the power.
No, so the reason the outlet, okay, so the reason it's like that, this is a really old building, and so there's only one outlet in this room.
Yeah.
But we're running a lot of stuff, so it's like a daisy chain of like a bunch of those like power strips to like different points of the room. There's an extension cord back there. There's fucking a lot going on.
It feels like
Just
the rabbits
harnessing-
actually get on a little wheel that powers our apartment.
We should get them working.
Yeah, why don't we? You're God Yoshi. You're just lying around all day,
Because right now you
shitting
can't
and eating.
you can't turn on the microwave without turning off the AC, or just the house will turn off.
You're just harnessing all the power for the pod.
Yeah.
people are trapped in an elevator right now.
Yeah,
just,
like, what the fuck?
all
And I'm
right,
like, sorry,
you guys
these
can
wrists.
eat me.
Yeah.
No, Mom! And then, all right, that was it for today's pod.
Yeah.
Oh, doors open.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, but this is like the perfect setup for like a pod.
Oh, thanks.
You know, because you got a chair over here.
That's big.
You got a couch.
That's about it.
You know,
And there's some
it
buddies.
looks dingy enough where it's like people will respect the come up. You know?
Yeah. It's not just expensive leather seats.
Yeah, there's rabbits
There's
crawling all
farm
over us.
animals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, hi, Yoshi.
Oh, Yosh. Mr. Yosh. But so you showed her Parasite. What was her end thought?
Oh, she
about the
loved
movie?
it.
It's a
If-
fantastic
If you
movie.
watch it, you'll love it.
I feel like I felt like Parasite in every apartment I lived in, where I kind of try to be that guy in the wall at the end. Like, I don't want people to even kind of know I exist there.
Really?
With roommates,
Why?
I like to leave no dishes.
That
I
looked
like
like
to leave
hell.
Huh?
That looked like hell.
Yeah. Well, I don't like any conflict. You know what I mean?
Oh, I guess, yeah.
Yeah, I just feel like in big city apartments, if you have 3 or 4 roommates, you don't want to like fucking, I don't know.
But you don't want to like go outside at all, or
Well, I want to go. I want to leave the apartment. I'm saying when I'm in the apartment, I just
Oh,
want to
okay.
like do what I need to do and go back in.
Yeah, well, that's not the life that they live.
That's true.
They
Okay,
can't
maybe it's
leave.
a bad metaphor. Yeah. You're just trapped in a
I know you
prison.
didn't want to live the life
Yeah.
of a guy who's just banging his head on a light.
That's what- I want to be like a man that lives inside of a wall and that I don't want to get in fights with anybody.
Yeah. Certain piece.
Certain
Certain
P. I
P.
wanted to pick and choose.
Yeah, a little bit. Oh my god.
Do you think you could be like a super, super, super rich person like them?
Like, do you think we could pull it off, or do you think you could like handle it?
Do you think if you were handed like $1 billion, you could change your whole personality?
I don't think I would. I think I'd give a lot of it away, and yeah, absolutely.
Huh.
You
You're one
don't
of the-
need $1 billion.
You're one of the few people who I actually am like, I believe you that you would do that. Like, a
I-
lot of people say
I do that
but
with
I'm like,
the money I have now, buddy. We can go to my account and I stand on that. No, because it's like you don't need like. There's only so many. You'd be like, oh my god, I got blown on a jet ski going over this today, and it's like, okay, then what? I don't know. There would
also
be
think
any
there's, like, a
better
whole-
feeling than being like, I'm gonna alleviate suffering, because so much of life
Yeah,
is luck.
getting blown on a jet ski.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
alleviating suffering.
Yeah, that's true. Alleviating my suffering.
My
yeah.
suffering of not getting blown on a jet ski.
I would give most of it away to people who blow me on jet skis. They would get large deposits into their account. No, I don't know. It's just like so much of life is luck, and I feel like people kind of hate to acknowledge that. But,
It's yeah, 100%.
but they'll be like,
Yeah.
well, I worked really hard. But it's like you were still in a position where like you could actually bring whatever idea you had to like forthright to like life. Like there's someone in a refugee camp right now that is a better idea than Amazon, but they're not able to fucking do any
Yeah.
of that, you know?
I think it's just you don't have like if you're that rich, you're not making new friends, especially ones that are suffering. But like you
Yeah.
always hook up people that you know.
Yeah.
But then once you like, I feel like once you get that rich, then you're like, well, I don't even know those people.
Yeah,
And
your,
that's one
your
of the things
circle becomes so small.
Yeah.
And the circle of it too, like there's like a whole different like set of social rules, I think, where I'm like, oh, even if I got like $1 billion deposited into my account, I wouldn't know how to like be a billionaire.
First off,
and
everyone
socialize
would
in
know.
that world.
Everyone in New York City would know. There would be a personal float. Like I would be worse than Donald Trump with that money. I would have like a golden amount. Once there was a golden chain with all the money I've given away, that would be like my last possession.
You go to jail because you're just like Googling how to have enough money to kill people. How much money to kill a guy that
Yeah.
hurt my feelings.
So there would be. I would do nice things. I would also do very spiteful things. Like I would do like sort of what's that like task rabbit? I would task rabbit people to throw golden lobsters at people who have spited me in my past. Like any boss that was just a real piece of shit, this golden lobster's being thrown right at his face through the door. Like, I would just come to his house and pistol whip him with a golden lobster. And
Dude, I would be so bad. I'm so bad with money. I would spend it so fast. But I don't even like. I would spend it on just like a lot of like middle class shit. You know what I mean? I wouldn't
Yeah.
be like,
you got just giant posters that say "Eat, Pray, Love" or whatever,
no.
and it's wine o'clock. Like you would just become, you like have a shitty timeshare somewhere that you got talked into. You have like a mediocre 2-story house, like in the suburbs of Connecticut for some reason. It's like, why'd you even do that?
Oh God, me having
An
money and moving
SUV,
to
but
Connecticut.
you have like the family sticker, and you're like, Maddie, you're single. What? It's just like in your DNA. You're like, well, now I have a Roth IRA, so I have to act like this.
But that's what I'm saying is I wouldn't even be like, let me get like $1 million house and like jet skis and shit. I would be like, let me go to Sephora 500 times a week. Like I would just do the same shit I'm doing now too much, I think.
Would you adopt a bunch of kids?
I thought you were going to say rabbits, and I was like, yes.
Start like a rabbit
too.
farm.
Dude, I didn't realize adopting kids costs so much.
Oh, like $20,000 or something for the paperwork.
Dude, yeah. Well,
Yeah,
I
it's
looked it up.
really
It was like
expensive.
between $10,000 to $30,000. Which also, how do you decide that price?
Yeah, that's pretty mean to be like, well, that's a 10-grander right there. He's fallen down a few times.
I think we know how to decide that.
Yeah, just to be the bargain bin orphan is just one of the darkest.
And you get why you're $10,000, right? Yeah, I know.
It's as it's coming up on clearance. It's like, look, you're almost 12. We're going to knock your price
Yeah,
down
yeah.
and see if that starts moving
Well,
things a
it's-
little bit.
It's between a used Corolla and this human child, so we're thinking about what's best bang for our buck for $10,000.
Yeah, that is crazy.
I wonder if it is like age related.
It's got to be, right?
Or if it
Yeah.
has something to do with like maybe if you're adopting someone in the same country, there's not as much like paperwork and lawyers involved. Because there's a lot of that money going to just like lawyers' fees.
I don't know.
It's not going to that.
I think it's
that
just
would
going-
be kind of cool if you could sell yourself as an orphan, though.
Yeah, it should go to the kid.
Yeah, it should. If you could have like, I know my worth, and you like Barton, where it's like, listen, I'll be the best kid you fucking want, whatever you want. Sunday school, the whole thing.
I think
$20,000 right now. $20,000 right now. Or I'm walking out that fucking door.
I'm saying it's like for sure lawyers' fees and the agencies and like paperwork.
I think
and
it's
shit.
they get older too, because that's kind of like it's almost damaged goods.
You can cause You can adopt a kid.
Yeah,
Wait,
100% getting older too.
well,
Yeah.
do you know you can adopt a kid until they're like 21?
That is literally not.
Bro,
Okay, Maddie's
I'll
got
Google
the
it right
phone.
now. I'll
But
Google
at
it right
18, you're a legal adult.
I know, but I guess
Why
they
would you
can,
adopt?
like-
Can you imagine a 21-year-old and you're like, hey, you got a family now. You're coming home. Just some kid at a bar.
Well, that's
yeah.
not even a kid. A
Yeah, that's like
21-year-old
just a shitty adult.
Well, but you can like adopt them and. put
That
them
better
through
be like
college.
$5.
adopting a
You better get money back. Like you
Well,
should have to pay.
No
you.
matter what, if you're adopting a kid, you shouldn't pay for it.
I think you.
Or maybe it's like to make sure you're not like a pedophile. You know,
That's true.
maybe that's why it's like they
Yeah.
gotta really like if you're willing to
Because
spend.
you don't want to just be fucking giving kids away with.
yeah.
This says in New York State, an individual may adopt a person over the age of 18.
Goddamn New York.
What?
Okay, so that makes sense. So it's like, okay, if you're, I don't know, maybe it's your step parent and they adopt you so that they have like visiting rights in a hospital or something.
Yeah, but it's not real. Like they can fucking ground you at 21. You know what I mean?
Well,
They're
that
not like your
depends on how you want
They're not about to like take off their belt, give you the business at 21.
Wait, this is really funny. In
Like-
certain states, an adoptee must be a minimum of 10 years younger than the adopter. And in New York, they only require that the adoptee agrees to the adoption.
Oh wait, so technically a 22-year-old could adopt a 21-year-old.
Yeah. Well,
Wait,
actually,
so technically a role-playing fantasy of mine can be legally true.
wait, technically, I
Wait, can
think
someone actually legally become my mommy in New York and adopt me? Because if it's true, we're gonna have to cut the podcast short. I got a few things to sort out.
Wait, I wonder if that means it said the age doesn't matter. They just have to agree to the adoption. Could you adopt someone older than you?
Yeah,
That's awesome.
That's
you
crazy.
could just adopt an old man. You could adopt me.
The
Technically.
$1,000 a month tier of the Patreon.
Yeah,
we will adopt
I
you.
feel like-
we'll be the parents you've always wanted.
All right, if there's enough money involved, you can adopt anyone.
Yeah.
You know, like let's be honest.
Yeah.
They'll make if you have enough money to make like
I'll let
a
someone adopt
system.
me fucking $1,000 right now. And
I don't think that's as much money as I was thinking.
no, it's not a lot. Not a
That's
lot.
actually so little money.
No.
It's so little money. It's
A-
actually
It's a pretty attainable
1/30th
amount.
as much as it costs to like adopt a child like somewhere.
That's why it's a good deal.
A child that can't think you can adopt for like $20,000.
Yeah, or a grand.
A grown man that's like, hey,
I'm hanging.
that guy can get adopted for pennies to the dollar.
I got anecdotes. Whatever you want. I'll come over for Thanksgiving. We're hanging.
Yeah, if you were given $1 billion, you would lose it very fast.
But there would be several intense foundations in my name. I would, or just erect several weird statues and be just.
I would
frustrated.
definitely-
It would. Oh my god! I know what it would go to.
What?
He'd be flying to Japan and going to the Capybara Cafe.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's fucking
That is
talk
quite,
about it,
That
dude.
is quite literally one of the first things. I
Wait,
would
what's
do.
that? What's the Capybara Cafe?
Oh,
Do you know what capybaras are?
Those are like little rabbit. Are they rabbits?
Get out. No, capybaras are the world's largest rodent. They're like literally giant hamsters. They are like 50
So,
to 60 pounds.
looks like a rabbit.
I'll pull it up.
They
I'm gonna
are
start having
fif-
a laptop right
They
here,
are
and I'm the
50 to
Jamie of this
60 fucking
podcast.
pounds. They look like a gigantic hamster. And there's a cafe in Japan. Well, they're from like South America, but there's a cafe in Japan where you just grab a coffee and you can feed them.
If I look at this picture and it looks like a big rabbit,
It doesn't really look like a rabbit. You got it dumbfounded.
Wait, you got to see them relative to a person though, because they're pretty big. I didn't
They're
realize how
fucking
big
huge.
they are.
You get up
Well,
to
we've
70
been.
pounds.
It's been a big talking point too that we're gonna get something capybara related to. We're building out this wall.
They're one of the world's friendliest animals.
Look at that.
They make friends.
oh my god,
to
yeah,
their
they're
det-
fucking
To
huge.
their detriment, make friends with everything they meet.
is
They
that
literally
real?
do. That is real.
They're so big. They're so big. He has
They're
a
huge.
saddle on.
They have a saddle. There's photos.
Oh, this is the lady.
There's videos of that's the crazy lady. There's
There's a
videos
lady
of
who's, like,
cats
obsessed with them.
riding them.
That's crazy.
That's
Yeah.
so wild. I'm going though. I'm going to Japan at the end of March, and I'm gonna go to the Capybara Cafe.
You gotta let me
Really?
know how it is,
Yeah.
Maddie. Live
I
my
will.
dream.
And they're
for it.
just crawling around the cafe.
It's like a cat cafe.
I
but-
mean, they're probably bit. They might push you over. Can you imagine getting killed in a stampede of capybaras? What a weird.
that'd be awesome, dude.
Yeah. I mean, they're just such
That'd
a
be
whimsical
awesome.
creature.
A stampede of capybaras.
Where would they be going?
I don't even know.
I can't imagine
Like a
them with that
fucking-
much pep in their step.
Yeah, like an ice cream factory or something. They seem like they know what ice cream is. They enjoy it a lot. Oh man,
Have you been to the Museum of Ice
I'm
Cream?
trying to-
I haven't.
It seems like one of those bullshit like Instagram. Like, I'm like, this only exists so that people can take pictures of it on Instagram.
That's like half
Uh-huh.
of what
And then it's like a pyramid
reality is
scheme.
now.
Yeah, have you seen all those like things where it's like a comparison of like this looked so cool on TikTok and they go there in person and they're like it fucking sucks because my eyes aren't wide angle with an HDR filter on them. So it's like this is just like actually awful.
Yeah.
There's an ice cream museum.
Yeah, in New York.
Really?
Museum of Ice Cream.
Dude, you can have
And they're
museums
like
of anything.
it's there. That's the whole exhibit.
Really?
They're
We
like,
got,
look,
there's ice cream
Look,
in the
ah,
world.
it's cold. Yum.
You know what else is a museum of ice cream? Any ice cream shop.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah,
like
literally.
laid out.
It's got the little labels. It has an expiration date.
Yeah.
They don't
Is
like
anyone
make
really
it in art.
shocked by the backstory of ice cream? Also.
Wow, the cow is a politician.
Yeah. Yeah, like, I don't know. It's like I get it. Yeah.
He was assassinated. Holy shit.
This cow started World War One.
Just super conspiracy shit. It's like that's why JFK was killed. Just you know.
Wait, this this ice cream was milked from the teat of Archduke Franz Ferdinand. Was that his name?
Yeah, that was his name.
Cool.
Dude,
Nailed it.
I always get like, how the fuck did anyone come up with anything? Like even ice cream, it's like, how did you
Yeah,
make that?
like
in the
how did
first
that?
place?
I think
Was-
I'm so stupid now with technology. It would be like, well, yeah, we would never enjoy that.
Yeah,
There's
maybe
so
it's
much
like we're
shit
not
if I was
trying
at the
shit.
time it was invented, I wouldn't have figured it out. What'd you say?
Well, yeah, it's just like maybe it's like now that we're not trying to make new shit
Yeah.
because we have a lot of shit and we're more on our phones and, you know, like most of the world is more on their phones. Like there's no one that's like, all right, I'm going to sit in a room, I'm going to mix a bunch of shit in a bowl until I come up with something that changes the world. Like were people just doing that?
I think it's just you have so much more time on
Was-
your hands. A lot of stuff was invented by accident, like cheese. Someone was just carrying milk
That's
around
crazy.
in the desert, and then it fucking molded. And they're like, I guess I'll eat it. And they're like, this is halfway decent. And that's how cheese was invented.
There's like a theory too. I was reading this book about the internet, and it was talking about how like a lot of like previous inventions, like we like love to like, especially it's like a very like Western American thing to attribute it to like individual virtuoso genius. But it's like obviously Einstein is a genius, but it was also like he was born in a place and time where all the information was coming to light that led to those kinds of discoveries. So it's like there's this sort of theory that like major discoveries aren't as much attributable to like individual genius as they are like it was just time for that. and somebody was going to come along and figure it out.
Yeah.
So, like, there's
I always say Einstein's kind of a fake fuck.
I always hated those posters that like that they would always tell dumb kids this to make you feel better, but they'd be like, "Hey, did you know Einstein was also a fucking retard?" And it was just like something. It's like Einstein in first grade used to drool all over his test, just like you. And then now he figured it out and looked it up. Downright lie. Never even had a big forehead.
And then
Einstein didn't even have an extra chromosome.
And then what? He was the first guy to say, "Hey, the sun's bright."
Yeah.
Fuck that
Fucking
guy.
dumb.
His whole thing was, what if the whole universe is a giant blanket and we're like a potato on the blanket? Literally looking like it's like that's what it is. Like if you took a blanket, put a potato on it, and like rolled it around.
And we can't prove it wrong.
You can't be like, we're not a potato in a
Wow,
blanket.
you're smart because you said something I cannot disprove. That's what I say to everyone that says anything I can't disprove.
Yeah.
Is someone trying to help you? Wow, you're so smart just because I can't take that down.
Like when a kid's like, at night I turn into a dog. Oh my God, really? Holy shit. I'm only a guy all the time. At night you're a dog. What kind?
I'm
A big one.
dog.
A big dog.
we both want to be that kid so bad that we had an answer. It's
You're like, I'm a big dog.
I'm a big dog. Oh my God. How big? Super. Super big. Wow, I believe him because I can't see it. That's what I do all the time.
Oh, you actually believe it. You're not mad that you can't call bullshit. You just actually are like, can't think of a reason why that wouldn't be true.
A kid wouldn't lie to me. I'm John.
John F. Kennedy, God damn it.
My name's John. So, I believe everything.
I'm John, you're a dog.
I think most people in the world are good. You know?
Sure.
Let's get back to the real part of the pod. I think most people in the world are good.
Do you really believe that?
No. I think everyone's
I
good.
actually do.
I think everyone's good to like people around them.
I think most people are at least neutral
Yeah.
until they're in a horrific situation.
I used to think that people were like really like only a product of their circumstances, and now I'm like, no, you got a little bit baked in.
Yeah.
Like there's not like, but I do think it's mostly like deterministic in the sense of like, I don't think people are just like born with evil. I think mostly like if you treat people horribly, they'll act horribly.
Right.
But there are some people where
Yeah,
it's
you got like the Jeffrey Dahmers of the world where it's like, oh, but his mom left in high school. And I'm like, well, he ate a person. All right? It's like, come on. You know how many people don't have a fucking parent? You become a stand-up comedian or you blow a lot of people or something normal.
Yeah.
You don't fucking eat somebody. You don't
blowing
kill
a lot
any
of people is like methadone of eating someone.
That's true. That's true. That's like a serial killer that everybody enjoys.
Yeah.
It's a prequel. They're like, no, you got to think long game. Think about how much sperm think about how many future people I've murdered right now.
Dude, some kids you
back
can
in.
like tell they're gonna be evil though. You know.
Like
Like they're just
little kids.
kicking
You
a
talking about like
squirrel or
middle
something?
school.
Well, like
I think I heard in Tiny Animals, those kids right to the gulag, dude.
yeah.
In the Kenyan $1 billion de facto society, when I do become a little bit of a despot, yeah, those kids are gone. Your kid holds a squirrel. There will be a military tribunal, and he will be killed by a stampede of capybaras. 1,000 capybaras in between him, and then a delightful pond for them to frolic. And he's just held down to the ground, and I go, well, you shouldn't have thrown that rock at a bird, buddy. And now your soul's going to fly.
Just a
straight
bunch
into
of
hell. How does that feel? Parents are crying and begging, and I'm like, well, tell that to the goddamn canary. Canary that died in the coal mine. So,
So
yeah, I'm a little bit extremist on that. I do think anyone who if you see other living things and you're like, oh, I don't like. Anytime any adult has been like, I don't really like animals. Like anytime anyone's like, I don't feel empathy towards other things. I'm like, oh, so yeah, that's bad.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't
that's like
really
the
get
definition of having feelings.
but
So
I
I'm
like eating them when I don't see it.
Yeah, I'm a coward.
Oh, you know what we
Yeah.
gotta do?
Yeah.
The test.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so
All right.
I'll explain afterwards. There's a guy at his dad's funeral, and in the like audience, I guess, in attendance is this really hot girl. He doesn't know her. He's like, I'm going to try to talk to her. But the funeral ends, she leaves, and he doesn't get like her name or her number. A week later, his mom dies. What happened? Fuck.
I know.
A week later, his mom dies.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
happened? He didn't. Was she dead there? And was
No.
it her? Okay, hold on. Let me think. Hold on. Sometimes podcasts need to be quiet.
Yeah.
A week later, his mom dies. What happened? She died.
Well, that's
do
true.
you want me to burst the bubble? All right. So the test is it's supposed to be like a sociopath test, and the sociopathic answer is you're saying, oh, we killed his mom, so there'd be another funeral, so he'd have a chance to meet that person again. And me and Maddie both guessed that immediately.
Like, to the point that I was like, is this a trick question? That's so easy.
But
Like, I was like, obviously.
I like to believe we're not sociopaths because we're not that successful in our careers.
I'm just no, but I.
but every time I ask somebody else that, their brain's like, oh, I don't even know why. And in
They're
my
like, I
head-
would never
in my head, I'm like, that makes perfect sense. You fucking kill that person, and then you get another
All right,
chance
if you're
to-
blaming one riddle
Yeah.
that you guessed it, you're supposed to think weird. If someone sets it up like, let me run this by you, then you'll be like, I'm going to think any thoughts. But it would be more sociopathic if I didn't know it, and then I was like, that's a good idea.
Yeah, that is true.
But I think the idea of the thing is like, if you're able to see people as a means to an end, then
And also
you're
just
able
like
to
an
you see them as
obstacle.
pawns
Yeah,
in that
in
like.
your big house of cards game.
But I think that's
Oh.
stupid because it's like, no, I'm just not stupid. I'm just good at puzzles. I wouldn't
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah, I'm just a weird nerd.
Just trying to fit in with you guys. No, people should die.
Yeah, we
I
wouldn't
look
do
at it-
that at all. I just know that I could. I know I have the creativity to make that scheme, and I just use that to get like $20 back on rewards points.
I remember.
I
we're
call
talking-
you guys after. I killed a guy. Didn't feel anything.
What's happening? Wait, what did you
You
say?
could be a stupid sociopath.
Most sociopaths are pretty stupid.
I love your take on serial killers of like that they're not interesting.
They're dumb. They're like a weasel brain in a person. Like if you
The
go
only-
outside and see like a rabid rat and he's just biting people, you wouldn't go, "What sort of tortured genius is he?"
The only
It's-
reason.
it's because he sees beyond society.
The only
yeah.
reason they seem smart to some people is because 60 Minutes does a whole thing. If you put a rat in a chair across from like Larry King, the rat would seem super
Yeah,
smart.
they're like, look at it. He's like, I just chase down food all day and it's right there. And they're like, it is right there.
So you're a rat.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Oh no. Whatever Larry King says. I've never watched it, but I'm sure
I wish I was dead.
if you put a
Why am I alive? These suspenders are keeping me suspended to reality.
60 minutes is how long he has left to live.
Yeah. Tune in this week to see
you
if
see
it
the
happens.
world so differently.
Yeah.
Just a rat in a suit.
They all look like your mother.
Yeah, it's just most people are really, really dumb unless you like, especially actors, you know. But
Yeah.
then we like see them in roles and we're like, oh, cool, they're James Bond. I'm not saying anyone specifically, but you know what I mean.
Totally.
Yeah, and then you hear them talk in like an interview, and you're like, "Oh, I thought you said all that stuff earlier, but someone wrote it for you."
Yeah,
You have a pea-sized brain.
Yeah.
yeah. Like people that work for NASA, we don't know who most of them are because we just get like the loud Neil deGrasse Tyson guy who's like, space is really big. But he didn't come up with that. He has a group of people probably under
Yeah.
him that are like just coming up with shit. Steve
Yeah.
Jobs, you know.
It's a shame that like, you know, your personality and your face is kind of like your PR team, and the smartest people sometimes have the worst ones, and the
Yeah.
dumbest people have the best ones.
That's why you need to help us on Patreon.
We're not coasting on our looks.
yeah.
I'm not coasting on anything. We're drowning, goddammit.
Not coasting on anything.
If you join the Patreon, we'll all be coasting on just a herd of capybara running in a field.
That's what I would do. I would start a ranch of capybaras with my $1 billion where I do ride them out. A small city where everyone rides a capybara around like a horse. That is the only public transportation.
You would shrink yourself down
And
to the
everyone-
perfect size to be able to ride them.
No, you just get anorexic. I mean, they're big as fuck. They're like 70 pounds.
Just anorexic.
You put an anorexic high schooler on there that she could make do.
I want to die from just laying on, being just like on the ground, a bunch of capybara all standing around me, and then you just to the right, to the right.
Oh! A grid of them doing the Cupid shuffle over your body.
Truly the most whimsical murder.
Now kick. Now
See, if a serial killer did that, I'd be like, you're a genius.
One hop
That
this
is a
time, my
genius
head
move.
explodes. That's how I want to die. A capybara.
2 hops this time. As they're squishing your.
They gotta shovel me up after. That's what I want.
Have you thought about what you want to happen to your body when you die?
You know, I was thinking, I don't know if I want to be cremated, just because. What if there is like, you know, you still feel stuff? I wouldn't want to feel that.
Wait, when you die?
Yeah. What if like there's
You
some part
don't,
of your
though.
brain? Yeah, but what if you don't know that?
I
What-
feel like I fucking
What
do.
if your
No, you don't.
What
no,
if
you
your
don't.
soul is still in there, and it's like go?
Yeah, well, if any case, then you're just pre-gaming for hell.
And all those little ashes, all the ashes that you become, they all have little minds, and they're all feeling it trillions
Yeah.
of times.
Oh,
That's one way to put
I
it.
don't know. I just
I don't know why I was. Oh my god, that's
it
crazy.
does that. No, I don't know, but I definitely want to. I don't know if I don't want to be buried. I want to go. I want to just get thrown in the ocean, but not like scattered. I just want you to just toss me. Don't tie me up. I'm just at the bottom. You know, maybe wrap me in Saran wrap. I don't know.
That's pretty good.
Put goggles on me in case I wake up. Yeah, I don't know. So that's probably what I want to do. What about you?
That's pretty cool.
I kind of want mine to be like I'm put in a rocket and everybody signs it like they do in Israel, and then you just shoot it at my ex's house.
Wait, that gives me an idea for yours. They just strap a motor to you and they put you in the ocean like a wind-up car and just let you go for a while.
That's also fun.
That's cool.
I like
What
that.
about a Viking
What-
funeral but just in a pond?
What is that? They like burn a ship with you
You
on
know,
it?
you have a ship and then you shoot a burning arrow and it's like all alive.
Just starts a forest fire.
Yeah.
It's
But
too
just at
small.
Lake Jordan.
It's way too small of a pond. Just burns trees around it.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah,
my
yeah.
God, this was such a bad idea.
yeah.
I've always thought about this. Like, if you could have the choice, let's say you have a month to live, would you rather die on Earth that last month, or if you could be shot into space and you'd make it to Mars at some point, would you want to just
Would it
get
take the
out?
whole month?
Would you just want to get out and see if you exploded?
Wait.
As soon as you said you could spend the last month of your life on Earth, or I was like, I'm not going to do the second one. I want to be on Earth.
Yeah, I'd probably want to be.
To
I'd like
enjoy-
to. It'd be kind of cool to die looking at the Earth. Like, man, that would be a whole.
You could
know.
bring your best friend, but they also die.
Oh, yeah, I'm definitely gonna hang out on Earth. Yeah.
All right, you can bring your friend and your whole family, but they also die.
You just keep making it like no.
Everyone, if you go to Mars, everyone also goes, and you all die.
I will say it was like a thing for a long time that I was like so sad at the possibility of like that I won't get to go to space in my lifetime.
You don't know that, Maddie.
If the Patreon takes off, if
You could
Elon
go to
Musk does his
space.
thing,
Probably.
I'll be 80 years old and blow $20,000 on the elevator or whatever.
Yeah, you could do something like that.
That would be cool.
That's-
I really would love to experience that. But I haven't even been to the
you have
Grand
family
Canyon.
members in
so what the
Hollywood. They'll be like it's like the Rapture. There'll be some sort of thing that shines in the sky. It's like what's that dating app for celebrities?
Raya?
Yeah, there'll be like a Raya symbol, and then all of you guys are beamed on board ships and then taken to Mars.
No,
taken
I-
to a safe colony in Mars.
I haven't even done a bunch of Earth stuff. I haven't been to the Grand Canyon.
Done a bunch
I
of
haven't
Earth
been
stuff?
Yeah, I haven't even, I haven't even done all this
I think
stuff
if
here.
most people haven't done much of Earth stuff.
How long would you want to live if you could live up to forever?
Can it be like a time when something might happen?
Okay.
Like, I don't know what age I would be, but when I want to live until robots. Oh wait, that's a
Pretty soon.
yeah, my own
Wait a minute. Shoot yourself on the pod. I just show you an article.
God damn it, that's so.
I want to live until dogs probably like drink water. They do? Go out the window. Yeah, I don't know. Probably until like 40. Wait, I was thinking about this. Would you... this is probably a true sociopath test. If you... maybe this isn't. Maybe when you die, do you care if life goes on after you?
Yeah.
Like 100%?
Yeah, I would want the other.
Look, I've been recycling less and all that.
Yeah, I care if life goes on.
I just
after.
feel
I
like
do,
when
but it's the only thing that would make death be like
Yeah, it's the only
palatable
thing
to
that
me
gives
is that I go,
meaning to death.
is
But
that
like,
I go,
while
oh,
I'm-
I'm kind of insignificant and life will continue on and the world doesn't need me and my
That's
body will
why
be
I've
recycled.
stopped wearing condoms. Just put out the seed. Life will continue on somewhere.
You're doing it like a riff, but I'm like, that is what reproduction
Yeah,
is
I
for.
I'm doing it like this is this crazy thing I'm doing. You're like, yeah, that's why kids.
Children, so that your life continues on after
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
We're like, oh fuck,
Yeah.
we're realizing it through riffs.
Yeah.
But I always think like if I like on Earth, I love I love life, I love people around me. But like if there was like a gunman and he like shot a bullet at a kid and I like jumped in front and it like hit me in the head and I died and I like went to heaven, I'd be like, all right, now you can get him. I don't really care. You can get him.
Are you like a solipsist?
Well, no, I'm just dead.
But I mean, but you know solipsism, where you like think that like
No.
if it's like the idea that like if I turn around right now, maybe you don't exist anymore and you only exist when I turn back in front of you.
Oh wow, there's so many people I've met that are for sure that. Dude, there's so many people in entertainment that for sure believe that if you were,
I'm not looking at you right now.
no, that you
I
just
can't know
go
that you're
away, you
dead.
just go away, you disappear, you vaporize.
Dude,
And
I
you're
think-
like, oh, he's right there again.
Maddie, now I think you're
Oh
a
wow,
genius.
he's like they blink and like he's there, and he's not there.
Now I think you're a genius because I can't prove it. You're really
well,
smart.
I don't believe that.
Well, have you heard of the double slit experiment?
You just cut your wrist and see if you die.
Brother, I lived the double slits, and I'm still standing. My height.
No one has recorded their findings because they just die every single time. No, but it's like a real.
8:22. I'm feeling dizzy.
Have you guys actually never heard of it? Because it'll blow
No.
your mind.
No.
All right, so I gotta explain it in terms that I know. Because okay, so imagine they had like a gun that could shoot atoms, right? And then they had a wall right here and a wall behind it. And then in the first wall, they cut two little slits in it. If you shine like light through it, it'll make on the other wall like a bunch of like slit shadow or like lights because it like hits it and like reflects and all that.
Wait, a bunch, not just two?
Not just two. It like goes all around. But when you shoot just little atoms at it, they had like a gun. If you shoot it, it'll be like, and you're watching it, it'll be like 50-50. It won't like spread out like the light did. It'll just be like the same on the back. But that's only, they ran this a million times. They ran it, if you're only looking at it, it does that. If you look away and look back, then it goes like light.
What?
They had a camera set up in this lab that was recording it, and it was just going like that. And then they turned the camera off, and they're like, all right, let's just pretend we're not
No
watching.
way.
And it knew that the camera was off, and it like went. I swear to God.
Dude, wait, I think I've heard of this because it's the one where it was like when you're observing it, it behaves like matter, and if you're not, it behaves like a wave.
Exactly.
Was that it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fucking.
What does that even mean?
And it's also crazy because it's not like observing it like the eyes or light. A camera counts as observing it.
Yeah.
It knows cameras.
It's like, why does
it knows its angles?
Yeah. It's like it knows we're watching. Like, what does that even
You
mean?
saying reality knows we're watching?
Atoms.
I mean, that's what like a lot of like. Okay, now I'm gonna sound like a fucking idiot, but like quantum mechanics, like that's a big thing about like superpositions. Is like that's like what Schrodinger's cat is like it's in two states at once, and until you observe it, it collapses into one observable state. But when it's not, it is like existing in two states at once. You know what? That's a funny thing
Wait,
about.
well, can you explain Schrodinger's cat? I hear that all the time.
This guy really hated cats, and it means something.
No, Schrodinger's cat. Okay, I'll explain it, and then I also have a funny thing that I didn't know for a long time that is very funny about it.
Wait,
So
you
the-
can say that first because you just set it up, right?
No, because you have to know colloquially Schrodinger's cat first. So like colloquially,
Can you explain colloquially?
we have a lot of explaining. Maddie's just pulling
So
out.
just, like, in the
Maddie's
world-
pulling out the smart card.
colloquially is in the world.
Colloquial is like kind of like everyday use, I guess.
Okay, now what's the
like
cat thing?
how it's like commonly used. I hope I'm
What a
saying that right.
pretentious way to say that. Well, you have to have a basic understanding. You're like, well, back in colloquial times.
Colloquially is not a.
I know, but come on, just the way you said it, where you're like, well, you have to have a colloquial understanding of Schrodinger's cat before I could even approach the joke. You have to have a basic grasp of knowledge and science, my man.
God damn it.
You get it. You were talking to your dad before the cast. You're a little smart. You're a little smart. You're right, smart.
Okay.
Okay, we get it.
Hey, so
Maddie's looked at a book. Throw it on our goddamn faces.
Schrodinger's cat.
Yeah.
The idea of Schrodinger's
Was
cat.
it cute?
I don't know. Yeah.
Correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. But I think this is the gist of it. Schrodinger's cat, there's a vial of poison, and it's radioactive, I think. Whatever the quality of the substance was, where it was like they were observing it in 2 states at once, and if you observe it, it collapses. So basically, Schrodinger's cat is in the box, and it's both alive and dead at the same time until you open it, observe it, and then it's either dead or alive. But the funny thing is that the reason that started, the idea of Schrodinger's cat, was actually to disprove the thing that Schrodinger's cat now is like used as an example of. So like they were saying like okay, so they were talking about like I think it's called like quantum superpositions, where like an atom is, because obviously a cat can't be dead and alive at the same time. That's stupid.
Yeah.
But the original thing was this guy was like, there's quantum superpositions, and these atoms, when kind of like what you're talking about, when we observe them in only one position, either A or B. But when we're not observing them, they exist in both positions at the same time. And this other guy was like, that's fucking stupid, because okay, I'll prove to you how stupid that is. Let's say those superpositions, you have them on like a little timer, and when it hits A or B, when it hits A, nothing happens. When it hits the B position, a vial of poison opens, and it spills into the box with this cat. Are you saying that if they were the same position at the same time, that cat would be dead and alive at the same time? And everyone was like, that's fucking awesome. Yeah, it's when the cat's alive and dead at the same time. And it was supposed to be to like disprove that.
Huh.
But yeah.
Whoa.
So anyway, you fucking John, or what's up?
Dude, well, now I'm thinking like, okay, so if atoms know that we're looking at them, then it's like you'd think that if you look really quick, you could catch them. But that must mean they also are part of your brain and they're talking to each other, so they know what you're thinking too.
Whoa.
We don't want to talk ourselves into schizophrenia here. I don't want to start having the universe is on to me. The atoms are in cahoots against me. You don't understand.
Huh.
But it is pretty.
It is pretty funny that someone tried to roast a theory and then was like came up with the theory.
Yeah, it was like people, instead of being like, how frustrating is it to be that guy where you're like, what? You're saying that's true. That would mean a cat would have to be alive and dead. And then other people, when they were like, explain Schrodinger's theory, they were like, yeah, it's like if a cat's alive and dead at the same time. He'd be like, no, I was saying that's how stupid it is. It was really funny. I didn't know that.
And then you major in philosophy in college, and you can just say things but not learn anything.
Philosophy is stupid, dude. This is how stupid
it's like
philosophy
cool
is.
hobby. Like to learn
Yeah.
about something, it's like, oh, that's cool. Now let me go back to actually helping people.
Yeah.
If you had a real job.
Right.
Here's how stupid philosophy is. I was talking to my friend, and I was like, he was showing me like some philosophy thing, and I was like, I feel like philosophy is for people who can like only think and not feel. Like they're intellectualizing shit so much that instead of just like feeling a feeling, they're writing this complicated intellectual Rube Goldberg machine where I'm like, yeah, you just described a feeling. And he was like, actually, that was a theory of one of the most famous philosophers of all time. And and I was like, oh, so the thing I shit out of my ass, they were like, this man revolutionized philosophy.
Yeah,
it is
that's
stupid.
It is.
They just write
It was
fancy.
the first people thinking out loud. It was just people like in ancient times being like, well, I think that makes me something, right? And they're like, this guy's fucking saying some shit.
That's the same shit with like did you see that Infinity documentary on Netflix where it's like it's kind of cool, but all it is, it's like they have like professors of Infinity and they're like talking.
Oh,
It
okay.
just sounds like a supervillain.
Yeah, that sounds like a supervision.
Professor Infinity.
Yeah.
Dude, he's literally... Well, they have, like, all these guys and girls talking, and they're just, like, professors of Infinity, and they're, like, trying to explain it in different ways. They're, like, It starts off they're like explaining infinity, where they're like, all right, imagine you have infinite rooms in a hotel, and then someone checks in. Will they get a room? Yes, because it's infinity. And then they're like, but if you take everyone in there and they moved one to the right, they all had to get out of the rooms and move one to the right, then he could only stay there. But he couldn't get a room at the end because that's infinity, but he could start at the beginning. And then all of it was just professors explaining different fun little things about, like, different ways to talk about infinity. If you're a professor of infinity, you can just make up little fun stories about how cool infinity is.
And that's the infinity.
That's all you can
infinity
do.
Is you can bullshit for infinity. Yeah. And your bank account looks like it's heading to infinity as you're sitting around. There's someone like laying concrete in other countries getting 45 cents to build something.
And you're
something
like,
that's actual real.
And he's like, yeah, but that's only one thing.
Yeah.
So I think that's bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just because, get a job. Well, they have it. It is a job. They get paid to do that.
If anything, it's a very cushy job.
Yeah.
They're like, it's the ultimate scam right there.
I
That's
know.
the sociopath test. Is can you sit around and bullshit about infinity for essentially infinity
Well, people die.
while people die around you? You pass a homeless man and go, work harder, buddy. I'm going to go literally just fart out of my ass intellectually for the next 40 years.
What's so stupid is, like, I don't agree, but I a little bit agree. But I'm also, isn't there something, like, sometimes that abstract stuff, like, leads to, like, cancer treatments?
Yeah.
Where they're like, what if there was
Or the
not
nuclear
infinity
bomb,
cancer?
Maddie. Or the death of millions. Sorry, your little crush. You going to Japan on an apology tour for your goddamn crush?
My crush on Cillian Murphy?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is a thing that I'm in love with Cillian Murphy.
Yeah.
His
Well,
name's Killian? I thought it was Cillian.
wasn't
Cillian
too
Murphy.
silly in that movie.
Do you think maybe you're just blinded by love and you don't know his real name? Because I know it.
It's definitely Cillian Murphy.
Okay. Oops.
No, I don't know. I could be wrong.
I don't know. I don't even know what he looks like. Oh, wait, no, he was Oppenheimer.
Yeah.
I know what he looks
Oppenheimer
like.
He's in
and
Peaky Blinders.
Oh, Cillian Murphy. Oh, from Oppenheimer. Did you guys like that? Oppenheimer?
Yeah.
that was pretty good.
I thought it was really good.
I liked it too.
Did you see Barbie?
Yeah, I did. I liked Barbie too. I thought it was pretty funny.
I thought Barbie was pretty funny too. Maddie gets very upset about Barbie.
I hated
Why
Barbie.
did you get upset?
Because it
about
didn't go feminist enough for Maddie. That's the infinity with this woman. It's never enough. They didn't fucking nail a man to a crucifix at the end. So it was a palatable popular comedy wasn't enough. They're like, that's basic gender theory 101. Well, not everyone.
Just like a child.
Grew up in Chapel Hill, North Carolina. Where they made little paintings of like Ruth Bader Ginsburg as they were growing up.
A Somalian.
That's like your fucking Thanksgiving turkey is Ruth Bader Ginsburg drawing with your hand.
A Somalian child soldier watching Barbie. They just didn't talk about child soldiers enough.
Didn't go far enough.
None of the
in Maddie's
children
mind.
went to war.
Yeah.
Huh.
Sorry the people crying in the theater I saw. Maddie would have went up and like, you should have been crying years ago. When do you get to this theory that says it's all a fucking construct? You're crying over a thing that isn't even real.
What did you like about it? Was he nailing it?
I just felt like it was kind of like feminism for men, where I was like, this is supposed to be for me, and it kind of like does nothing for me.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, I didn't pick up on any of that. I just picked up on, dang, she's really, really hot.
Yeah, I was too busy jerking off the whole time to really take any of that in.
The metaphors, didn't realize there were any. The hot boobs, saw all that.
Yeah. We jerk off.
Woo! We hit each other in the face.
Woo! It's
Each other and it
sorry.
explodes into the captions.
Oh!
Okay, it's good.
It's like getting opportunities in comedy. Yeah, it's all over Maddie. That's a woman. And that's like getting opportunities in comedy.
I'm like, how am I getting come down? This is my podcast.
That's a woman.
I'm a co-producer, goddammit.
Coming at each other, some spills on you.
Not without us.
Yeah.
You didn't even start this thing.
You can share.
You needed us to start it. Because we're men.
Yeah.
It's a fire starter.
What else didn't you like about it? I thought it was funny. I thought the I thought Ryan Gosling was pretty
He was so
funny.
funny.
Guy.
Dude, he was great.
Yeah.
No, I liked him in it.
For all the women, that is pretty.
It's really funny.
For all the women, that is pretty funny. That's kind of hilarious. That the entire movie, there's like a scene where they're crying. There's so much of a woman you never respected. They're like, the man.
what
was
more
pretty
did you
good in that
want
movie
from it?
about women? I mean,
I
just
just-
hilarious.
Adam Sandler. I mean, what else could you get? It was a rock star cast of hitters.
And also,
Yeah,
beyond
Morgan
that, I don't know. I just didn't enjoy it that much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you even have?
No,
a
I had
Barbie as a
Barbies. I was like a
Oh,
girly
okay.
kid for a period of
Thought you were
time.
just
I don't know. I was like kind of a tomboy.
No.
But like, no, I'm also.
if you were too smart for dolls. Okay.
No, I love dolls.
I didn't know if you were too
No,
smart.
I'm
for
also
dolls.
not trying to be like the cool.
like, I
girl.
already
It's
feel like a
actually, I
doll
didn't
that
like the movie
society's
for
playing
like I
with. Don't
wanted
need to
to
rate
like
it
it. I
out.
went into it really thinking I was gonna like it, and the mom and daughter stuff I thought was great, but I just like. I don't know. I literally went and saw it again with a friend, and we brought notebooks and took notes and like discussed it afterwards. Yeah, because I was like, I want to have like fucking a conversation about this.
Are you serious?
You're saying you brought.
I think. See, yeah, you're too smart for the movie. Because like Barbie is not for people who bring
Everyone that
notebooks
went-
to things. Or just have notebooks in their casual life in general. They're just like,
But they
people
weren't
are just
trying
like,
to be
that
a
was
fun
a fun
movie.
movie and you're full
Well,
of
people
popcorn
that went
soda.
were dressed in pink rubber bands.
I know, but Maddie's just there like, why don't I understand? She's like doing math equations and why she's not having fun. And Maddie's just there like, why don't I understand? She's like doing math equations and why she's not having fun. Does E equal I have a void inside me? Yeah.
You can't
Too
go to the
smart.
same
You have-
movie
have
that
3
people
concussions
go
and you might be like, "Oh, that's
before
pretty good."
they Google before they go there. Is it legal to just paint myself pink and go out with no clothes on? But I get it. You know, I like deeper meaning and stuff. You know, but I just I think it's they did have some deeper meaning. They had a good amount
Yeah,
of
I'm
it,
a
just
deep
not the
guy.
deeper meaning you wanted.
I feel like they hit you over the head with it a little bit. Like I'm really not trying to be like I'm not like other girls. Like I loved like Fleabag was fucking incredible. Like I'm very pro art that dissects girlhood. I'm just like it just didn't do it for me. I don't know.
I think you're a size queen with intellectual stuff. I think you're a size queen with intellectual stuff. Like I think this is like a dick that gets it done for everybody else. You're like, look, it's a 10-inch fucking scholarly, tortured,
That's so
smoking
funny.
a cigarette, really talking about what
That's
it means.
so
It doesn't
funny.
do shit. It doesn't even touch my fucking clit in your brain. It doesn't touch your brain clit.
Yeah.
It was powerful.
About 2 men shitting on a woman for her opinion. Yeah, shut up. Take our word. Let me explain to you.
Maybe open your eyes and watch it again.
What were you doing with your notebook? Writing new recipes? Yeah. Rub the cum out of your eyes and enjoy Barbie for once.
Damn. Well, we're at an hour. Should we hop over to the Patreon?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Can I pee quick? And also maybe, I mean, this didn't get unplugged, but I always
That
get
sounds good to
cautious
me.
because one time ours just like turned off for no reason.
Oh, shit.
So I always get nervous. I'm gonna pee. You want to like check on this? And
Well,
then,
before we go though, do you want to plug where people can find you,
Oh,
your
yeah,
podcast,
yeah.
all that good shit?
yeah, I have
We will-
I
we
do
will
a
try.
podcast that you guys can switch over to if you. I always get weird like plugging pods on a pod.
No, absolutely, yeah.
Hey.
But if you like this, you'll probably like theirs too. It's so fucking funny.
Yeah, I have a pod.
like
Can
a
I go home
pod.
now with Lucas and Jamie, and then and I'm putting out a
They're
special in I don't know, probably in like a month or so, maybe
gonna
probably
fucking
2
rock.
months. Dave's helping me with it. It's probably gonna be 5 months. Yeah, but
But when it
yeah.
comes out, send it to us. We'll link it in the
Okay.
description of this video.
Hell yeah, dude.
Hell yeah. And
hell yeah.
patreon.com/phone is in the bag. I'm at Maddie T.
Absolutely.
Wiener on Instagram. I got dates coming up in Cincinnati, Los Angeles, a bunch. Go check it out. They're all on my Instagram bio. And yeah, we'll see you on the Patreon.
Yeah, Can You Comedy on Instagram. I got some dates. I got the Patreon. You can text me. Yeah, Can You Comedy on Instagram. I got some dates. I got the Patreon.
That's the real
you can
number.
text me at 919-264-9250. I get lonely. Anyway, that's me.